And my perspective is to look at it on the left and on the right. And I do think that while they're not exactly the same, you find a lot of commonalities, because I think that the setup of identity politics feeds into certain types of dysfunctions. It has the advantage of short-term political victories because, the notion of identity politics is that we are fighting for a certain group that's being oppressed. And that gives you a certain amount of legitimation. And so when you make demands, you say, hey, we're making demands because this group's being mistreated. They're being devalued. And of course, people, feel like, oh yeah, we gotta protect that group. So I think it's very tempting because you can get some, at least in the short term, you can get some movement. You can get some victories out of it. Long term, I think that it's very damaging, and I think it damages your cause because it turns off people. People who they, the language of it tends to dehumanize the out group. It tends to set up a sort of hostility that people begin to pick up. And so it starts creating its own resistance because of the nature of it. And whether it's on the left or the right, I think that's the natural consequence of identity politics. So yeah, just to get back to your question, I do see identity politics. In fact, I would argue that identity politics helped Trump to win in 2016 and this previous election. And he tapped into that. He tapped into that sort of identity politics. A lot of it was white identity politics, some Christian identity politics.